This is the CO Council of Aging Board meeting. It is September 16th, 2025. It is 9:35, and I'd like to call the meeting to order. And we can stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please. The meeting is being recorded by Area 58. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You see the lights blink just when I said it with God?
Oh my gosh. Oh my God. She's magical.
Oh my God. Thanks. No power.
Uh-oh, the power went off. Maybe that's what happened. She did it.
We'll wait.
What time was it? 9:35 we started?
It was 9:35 when I called the meeting to order, and I'll give everybody
Chance to read the minutes.
a minute to, thank you, Darlene, for doing the board meeting minutes from August 19th. I did already have one question.
Uh-oh.
No, it just might be a typo, or
Sorry.
just this GATRA thing, you know.
Which one?
So GATRA reimbursement has its own account. I understand that. All deposits are made with no withdrawals to reimburse?
Yep. So, from the revolving account. Yep.
So you don't use that money, you don't use the GATRA money for the COA, to fix the COA vans?
No, not at this point.
Okay.
Because this is the first
Because
year.
this says no withdrawals to
Nope.
reimburse the COA.
That's right. Oh, hi.
Hi.
You okay?
Hi, Judy.
Okay, you're worried. Here, come sit down. Let's
I'll
make
just
sure.
pull one of these over at the end.
Okay.
How are you? We just called you down. We just
Right, we
called
called
you.
you.
Oh, is that
I-
Dallas? I was driving.
Yeah, and I picked you, I called both numbers just in case. I didn't know if you were home or.
I didn't realize it was so late.
That's okay, all good, no problem. Shoot that down there. So what that meant really, so we've been, it's our first year. We're talking about the minutes. I'll give you a little
Okay.
second to kind of look them over. But the explanation is this with the revolving account. So what I realized is this is our first year when we had a full year of the GATRA and the reimbursements, and we just set up an account for deposits as well as, when we take money out of it.
Yeah.
So debits and credits. So we just did it a couple months ago. So, because we were just depositing these checks in every month for the last year, and I'm like, hey, that should go somewhere. So we did do that, and that's what it's all about. But what we were doing, and I realized after our conversation and going back to the meeting with Area 58's help, is that I looked and I said, geez, what we're doing, so if I have the vans fixed, say the inspection stickers, new tires, what else?
General
Cleaning,
maintenance.
any of that comes out of our revolving account. The revolving account is what we collect, and I
Right.
deposited it into another account. What I realized is, hey, if that's the case, and I make the payment against it, submit the bill, then take that paid bill, then submit it to GATRA to get reimbursed. That money, when they issued that one check from GATRA, goes into the GATRA account. But
Okay.
it doesn't get reimbursed to that account where I took the money out
Money out
of
of.
maintenance.
Okay.
So I'm like, wait, I wonder if I have to, so I don't know what I have to do because I have to find out
Yeah,
what the
what would you
process
do
is.
with that GATRA, all that
Well,
GATRA money?
No, it's not the full amount. You're just gonna get the amount that you did use to, like, say if it was $325 for the van, to clean the van, that should go back into the revolving account. You see what I'm
Right.
saying?
No, you're
Or-
right.
Or what I could do is then, now that we have built up reserve right? I can put a debit against that particular account that's set up for GATRA now. See what it's doing now? So in other words, this is a whole new process, so with that whole new process, now we have some funding. And now I won't have to take it out of that revolving account. So when the van needs new tires, when it needs to be serviced, I can then debit the GATRA account, which has a
Okay,
separate.
I'm just trying to figure out what the GATRA.
So that's what that
withdrawal-
means, yeah, so that's what that means.
Okay.
So and right now, as it stands, it's not getting reimbursed back to the funding of that
Right.
revolving account.
So
to
what do you do
transportation.
with all that GATRA money? Is it just
That's-
sits in the account?
As we mentioned in the other meeting before, that goes to that other account, it goes to
Yeah.
a special account. Now, don't forget, the town does still pay out the wages for the admin people. It also pays out the wages for the van drivers, insurance for the vehicles, gas for the vehicles, the license, plates for the vehicle and so on. So they pay for all that. So it's gonna come out of whatever that fund is that they set up for GATRA. I'm sure some of that's gonna be for the purpose of,
Okay.
reimbursement to the town. Some of it, the majority of it is the town's funding because they have to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's town money, so it doesn't belong to COA. The only thing that would probably go back to that, and now actually what I'm thinking, what we can do, and I'm gonna get authorization, is that we then now debit the GATRA account to pay for all the van maintenance. And actually too, we're required by GATRA to have the vans repaired or checked monthly. So we never had to do that before GATRA. We should have, I guess, it makes sense. So now we have to go kind of look into that and make sure that we have it set up so that we have it checked and make sure the brakes are working. We do have inspections on a daily basis when the vans do go out, and that's done by, the van drivers who are well aware of what the vans are all about and so on. So anyway, so that's what that meant.
Okay, awesome, thank you.
You're welcome.
Did everybody have a chance to look at the minutes for August 19th?
Yeah.
I make a motion to approve the August 19th, 2025 COA board meeting minutes.
I second that motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, great. Director's report. We have budget update.
Okay, just the only budget update information is if there was a change in terms of the way we are paying for the transportation. Pretty much, it's the status quo in terms of gifts and activities account. Any of the instructors, the money gets deposited into the gifts and activities, and they get paid out of that as well. And it's pretty much our state funding that we get from the Executive Office of Aging and Independence. That funding there is used for programs and when we do have stuff. But we write a lot of grants in terms of like small things and for our entertainment. So we have a lot of that good stuff going on. We utilize a lot of the state's resources out there too. In fact, I reached out to a wonderful people in reference to honoring choices, which a lot of people, when I listen to what is going on in people's lives, and I kind of gear it towards what we could provide to support that. And so I noticed that people were asking questions about trusts and funds and setting things up and that kind of thing, and even the younger population has to have an idea as to what to look for to help their parents along. So I've reached out to people that I know over the years, And Ellen DiPaolo is one of those individuals, and she teaches honoring choices. Now, Old Colony does as well, but it's third party. This one here is the person. She is the president of the organization with the PhD in that field. So she does describe a lot of good information as to just establishing trust and so on, so for programming. So for budget-wise, I mean, we don't spend a lot out of our budget with all that because we have grants. We utilize a lot of these programs that are very helpful. What I'd like to see more of, that's why we have the big party. That's why we can afford to have it at a restaurant, because I felt like we don't have that community room or spacing that we could usually have or have had. And this way everybody can go and relax and have a really nice dinner at St. Patrick's Day and the holidays, which actually we have that coming up. The holiday party's already being planned. And we have Matt York, who's actually going to be singing at this particular event. So our budget is pretty stable. I'd say it's strong in terms of, it's healthy, I should say.
Good.
Yeah, so far. Except for we had to build the center.
Awesome.
Do you have any money for that? There's a $10 million grant out there. I love to write that grant. But it's,
Yeah.
and it's for transportation. It's for transportation, you can buy a van. So I don't know, we'll see what happens. Let's see, I gotta look into it and see how intricate it is. So that's pretty much it, and let me see what else. Budget updates, COA activities and planned events and future planned programs. As I mentioned, our holidays will be here before you know it. So we do have that all planned at Meadowbrook again.
Nice. That was a very fun time.
It's very
I like that.
Are you going to have the
It'll be our
senior
third
singers?
year, huh?
Are you going to have the senior singers as well?
I don't know, I didn't ask them yet.
Okay.
So, I mean, we have Matt York, I
Right.
don't know, we have 2 hours, almost 2.5 hours, so.
It's not necessary. I
Yeah,
just-
we can do another type of thing, you know, but I don't know, we'll have to talk about that another
They should
time.
reach out to the library, the senior singers too.
Yeah,
See if they can have a Saturday at the library.
yeah, something like that, so,
Yeah.
Well,
Dylan,
Rick is just back. He's been off most of the summer.
Yeah.
yeah,
So we're planning something in October.
yeah.
So we'll see how it goes.
Awesome.
Yeah, because honest to goodness, it's like October, November, December.
I know.
Yeah.
Because I said, oh, maybe we'll do that.
Have a new baby in the house and see how fast that comes.
I know, I'm so excited for you. That is nice. No, that's what we're trying to,
But you've been home for almost like a month. I think next Friday she'll be home like a month, be at my house for a month. It's crazy.
gosh,
Yeah.
that's nice
Wonderful,
though.
but-
It's a nice crazy.
It's a nice crazy.
It's a bittersweet
I guess.
crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, I know, it's, so anyway, so we also have 2 grants for, the music dance, and she is, let's see, wait a minute, hold on. So music dance, she does cowboy, she does square dancing, line dancing, that is Rhonda Drafts. So she does a lot of that, that's gonna be coming up. So she wrote 2 grants for October. So we do have that coming up for October. So I got these. And we also have Embrace Technology, so that's coming up and it's full. So that's.
Wow,
quick,
where
yeah.
is that?
At the senior center.
Senior center.
So, of course,
And
we have,
who's doing that? Did you hire someone to do that?
no, Old Colony does provide that.
Oh,
They
very
got a
nice.
grant, so they reached out to us and asked us if we would be interested in doing technology. We did the cell phone, and that really worked out. That filled up really quick. But this one here is technology where they're going to bring the laptops and everything here to the center. And the commitment is 6 weeks. 1, 2, 3,
Oh,
4,
wow.
5, 6. So the commitment is 6 weeks, and it's a Tuesday and a Thursday for, it says, actually it says 4 weeks, but then it says 6 weeks. So-
Yeah.
But it's 4 weeks, actually, sorry, it's my fault. 'Cause I
That's
counted
4,
this.
it's 4 weeks?
So it's twice a week. So
For
on
4
a Tuesday
weeks.
and a Tuesday, yeah, every Tuesday and Thursday for 4 weeks in
That's
October.
wonderful.
So that's coming up in October
And how
as
many
well.
people can,
We only have room for 6, that's the
Uh.
thing, you know? Yeah, so that's the problem, because we have a lot more, it's at capacity right now, so we wait-listed people. And hopefully we can get that squared out, but these are the kind of, it's free, you know, and they do
Yeah,
a good
that's
job.
great.
They bring someone in, because they get the grant, and they brought someone in to do that, so we were lucky to have that. We have, of course, our exercise classes. What we're trying to do is to start a walking class, walking group. And I have somebody that will do the t-shirts. And then once a week or I think once a week would be a great idea. So I asked people to, you know, give us an idea as to what they want to do, you know. Do they want to go walk at the mall? Do they want to go, and we'll take them there in the van, we'll just have to plan, but it has to be consistent every week. So I'd like to, it's really important that we get out and do some kind of socialization with our, you know, just a simple walk too, you know.
this is something we can do to help with that? Because I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, so, I mean, I named it Walk the Beat, because sometimes it's nice to
Love
listen
it.
to the music,
Yeah,
you know, and, you know, it's something that we could all.
because you don't really have to limit it, you just have to say like, we're meeting here at this time and offer the van, but if people wanna
Yeah.
just get to where they're going.
We want to be someplace consistent, you know, someplace we could do it every week, because, you know the weather gets in that right now too.
What about the Pembroke?
Yep, that's my next thing I was going to mention. I already reached out to them, and they were, of course, and I tried to, I got all that information to everybody the beginning of the year, because I talked to Pembroke, which was, they were really wonderful. But they said just have everybody go that day, and then they sign a release form at the desk, and then they get them registered. Anyone 60 and over is free, and anyone that's under 60, they pay $10 for the year, which is pretty good. And they can get to walk inside. Now, they also have a Nordic group that walks with the poles. So that's the kind of something we can do, an investment, maybe do a grant with that and purchase those types of poles. And then you can walk the indoor, the track up there. So that's an option too. And I think that's more viable, I think, than to be outdoors right now. Because, you know, the weather is getting kind of
Right.
crazy too.
Right, you're gonna start to hit some inclement weather out there.
Yeah.
And cold and what have you. So inside would definitely be a plus.
Yeah, I mean, and, you know, either socialize with the group, and by the time you go around.
So ours would be at a different time than what's going on at Pembroke? You lost me when we started talking about
No,
Pembroke.
I don't know, and we'd have to decide what time we want to do it. First, create the class, and then once we do, I will reach out to them and let them know that we would be coming at a certain time. And they would probably let us know if that's open at that point. But, I mean, this is what we got to do, right?
So you asking people to call the COA if they're interested, or?
I prefer that they come to us and sign up and, you know, let us know that they're interested in doing it, and that's what
There are 2 new ladies that are interested. Have they signed up?
No one's yet.
Rita and Maureen.
Yeah, so I asked in the newsletter for everyone to come forward to let us know what they want to do, because I'd like to get this going and sooner than later. But it just would be
Can I just tell you that I'm interested, or do you want me to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to do
No,
that.
I would like it.
Okay.
And it's good, and you can bring your buds if you want, and listen to music.
Yep.
So if you decide that you want to do that, it's a good thing. But until we get our center, and when we do, then we'll be able to walk the trails too, and go out and do some fun stuff too. And we do have wonderful news. So I just have to confirm it with the fire chief. But over the past couple of years, I've asked for an EMT to be present to help us with the blood pressure checks. In most towns will have the Board of Health with a nurse that supports the senior center, you know, so many weeks or once a month or whatever it is. But, so we don't have that option. So I've been reaching out to various entities out there. One in particular, the YMCA, which came in for the blood pressure checks. The diabetes checks are a little bit more intricate, and the way we were servicing those diabetes checks was that we were actually providing the Lancets and paying for them out of our budget. Technically, everyone has access to health care, of course, and you know that the Lancets are, in most cases, are paid by insurance. If someone does not or cannot afford them, then we would support that. So with that said, it's been a work in progress on various ends. We've been having Gather Health come in to help us with the blood pressure checks. The diabetes checks we had to stop it a little bit and just kind of retract, because I think people were using that as, using us as a clinic. We're not a clinic, we're for screenings. So we want to make sure that, you know, everybody that does come in, they want to check their blood pressure or whatever, or diabetes, even check, you know, that blood, that we could do that, but go to the doctors. And so I've ordered some booklets, free, and we're fortunate, they went very well, but they're, keeps track of what your blood pressure checked. So if you do get your blood pressure checked, if you do get your diabetes checked, that would be marked in the book. You would take that book and bring it to the doctors, and that's with Senior Medicare Patrol. It's a federally funded program. I reached out to the president of that organization, and she said she would send us additional booklets, so I'm waiting for those to come. But in the meantime, I was approached by the captain, Gibbons, from our Halifax Fire Department, which is awesome. And he said, guess what? We want to come over and do blood pressure checks. And I'm like, I've been trying to do this for years. What happened? Who gave the go? But before I say it for sure, which I did already, so it better happen. I emailed the chief to make sure that this was totally, you know, this was going to happen, because we're going to start it in October, and it'll be once a month, twice a week. It'll be a Wednesday and a Thursday. The fire department will come.
Does anybody want to copy?
Isn't that cool? I thought that was really good. And so, and they would actually, because they're EMTs, right? They can actually do the fingered pricks, so, and check somebody's blood pressure if they don't have the option. But again, we also want to make sure, and we want to emphasize that if there's some issue that does occur, they need to follow up with their doctors, and that's very important. So these booklets that are out there that are made specifically for when you go to the doctor's office, or when you go to, you have these blood pressure screenings that, or even the blood check for diabetes, that you actually then bring that booklet with you to the doctors and follow up with your doctor, especially if there's a problem or if something does happen. So I thought that was lots coming up, a lot of good things. We, on the housing, as I mentioned before, a couple of times, the housing, NeighborWorks Housing Solution Board, and I got an email, and we're going to be offering September 18th, that's this week, for anyone that wants to apply for housing. CHAMP application training is through this app. So in other words, we'll have it's going to be on TV screen. So they would watch, the person would watch and learn how to do their CHAMP application online. And we could do it either at the library, or we could do it, you know, in the senior center.
Well, did you sign up for the library? Because that's on the sign.
Yep.
So is that this Thursday?
It is. So what I decided to do, so that everyone has access to it, because the senior center our senior center is limited as to how many people. So I said, well, we'll offer it there, or the showing will happen on that day, and it will be also at the library, so people have access at that. There's more space over there. We will actually show it here as well, up here, just in case, you know, for the public. I mean, CHAMP applications are pretty universal. It's a universal application for housing. So, but it does give an educational, it's become like an educational training for somebody that wants to apply. And so these have been going out. They went out in all the newsletters. It's been out there to outside, downstairs. I put some downstairs, and so it's been out there. There's also going to be searching for strategy, the searching for housing and the strategies behind looking for housing. I don't know specifically if it's going to be specific to senior housing, but I imagine that it would be dependent on who it is that's going to be looking. But it gives you tools and tips on how to successfully search for housing, with a deposit. If in fact you need assistance with deposits, there are funding programs out there called RAFT. And if there's funding available, you would have to apply for it, and there's a way to go about it. So you learn of that the housing search is going to be offered in October. So I wanted to mention that too. So we will offer that again through these various searches. But it's also offered to not just our senior community, but it's also offered to the community in general, so, which is a nice thing. Another offering that we are searching for someone, we want to offer free tax aid. So we are searching, and we have a gentleman from Duxbury, as I mentioned before, Richard, and he's been very supportive, and he would actually oversee that. But we do have to get some volunteers that be willing with the accounting background, or somebody that wants to do that. In some towns, for instance, in Duxbury, they have people that have retired, and with accounting background, they still want to keep their hands in in doing something within the community. So they've actually volunteered to do the taxes. It's a simple tax. We're not going to do these intricate taxes, but the simple tax package that we would do. And Richard would be the person to oversee it. Shoemaker is his name, Richard Shoemaker. And he is the actual person that is connected with the AARP. So you do get to learn how to do your taxes. We probably do them already, but
when does that start? When the new truck?
well, as soon as we'd have to get the staff in place, and so that advertisement's going out there to say, hey, if anyone wants to volunteer, it doesn't have to be somebody that's a member in a center, from anyone. Once we get that, 3 people that are willing to come forward and assist with this program, they'll go to training, and then we would be able to say, hey, it's going to be offered in February, when you do your taxes.
And 2 people at the parks will also.
Yeah, and we still can utilize that as well, because we want to complement what, Mr. Benson does too, because, he does probably more intricate, tax returns. So we want to make sure that we do offer a wide variety of choices to people, and one of the choices being that, they could have access to free services. But if we don't get the people to volunteer, then it won't happen, but we're hoping that it does this year. Bingo lunch is October 6th. Old Colony's going to come in. They have good programming, thank goodness for a lot of stuff that they offer. And they are coming in to do bingo lunch during a congregate lunch, and it will be on a Monday. And it'll be something a little fun to sign up and have a lunch, and then have conversation with everyone. So we're looking forward to that, and we're thankful for Old Colony. And embracing technology. What else do we have coming up? I'm working on a podcast for us, and hopefully this podcast, I'm hoping that the gentleman, Tom Foy from the Hull Times, he also has the senior newspaper. So I reached out to him from Market Media and asked if he could assist us with this podcasting. That way we could get information out to people, like for instance, bring keynote speakers in to talk about, and have like a series, the 3-part series, where we talk about just aging in general and understanding, where we go over the journeys of different stages in our life and what choices are available out there. So we would bring in area specialists to just chat about that particular topic. Of course, in home care support, where do you get home care support? Even just simple things like, how do you take care of your house? If you want to stay in that whole thing is like, staying in your home for as long as possible. Well, we all want to do that, but let's be realistic. We also have to maintain it, mow the lawn, things happen, pipes in the house burst or whatever. We need to have access to a lot of that. Home modification program, I also talked to the home modification program as a part of NeighborWorks Housing Solution. Julie Lane is wonderful. She's proactive in this area with NeighborWorks Housing Solutions. And I told her and asked her if she could actually go to the park and talk to people within the park itself to see if they could utilize some of their equity in their home, and then they could put that back into the home to fix it and do things to upgrade their homes as they live in there without having to take out a loan. The loan itself, it would be it's a loan modification program, meaning that you do your modifications in the home based on what the contractors that they supply to you, because they're vetted contractors. And those contractors would do the work, whether it be grab bars, whether it be renovations for the bathtub, changing that out or something, stuff like that.
There is a program that's that's in the park. One of the ladies, her bathroom, the floor is degrading. And so she has contacted somebody and they will come and fix it. And what they do is they put the money at the end.
Yep, that's the one, I know
Yeah.
who it is.
And so, I mean, it's a good program. The only thing is, there's a long wait.
I can say, I don't know about the long wait, because they did this particular individual quickly.
This one hasn't been done yet. They said in the fall, and this
Okay.
was several weeks ago.
Yeah.
So I know there is a wait.
Yeah, because they want to make sure, we did offer this program to someone in the park as well, and they were coming out of rehab. So in other words, if you get to a home, an EMT, the police or the fire get to the place, the home, and find the person doesn't have the quality of living conditions there that are going to be safe, then there's a recommendation that, of course, when they go to the hospital, they go to rehab, let's be realistic, this is happening, that they go to the rehab, stay in the rehab so many days, and then they get released to go home, but they can't go home to an unsafe home. So what happens is this home modification program can support that rebuilding of that home and cleaning and doing some things, the renovations to the place, and then that person could go back to their home safely, and possibly even with services. So I've contacted Dick Yorgo from the park and asked if this person, her name is Julie Lane, as I mentioned, she's proactive and outstanding in this area of connections and making sure that the application gets processed. Like anything else today, you go apply for a loan to buy a house today, it's a process. But it's preparation, and you do have some guidance, and so that I was able to connect her to the park. So we're hoping that that supports that, and a lot of the people that have been experiencing this type of situation. So those are the good things, I'd say. Or activities, let me see, what else we got coming up? Thanksgiving, I'm sorry, we've got a lot coming up.
You do
Thanksgiving.
have a lot coming up.
Thanksgiving, we're not quite sure what we want to do with Thanksgiving, but Veterans.
We'll figure
is-
something out.
And that's going to be here before you know it. The Veterans on November 11th is having their service, of course, and I offered to support and provide some kind of a lunch or something like that, but they said that they had their own things going on and so on. So I'm not quite sure how we're going to handle the Thanksgiving, but we do have access to a chef, traveling chef that comes, and it's free. And they'll put on a nice dinner for us, and we did it, I think we did do it last year. Yeah, and it was good. It was
Yes,
pretty
it was very good.
Yeah, they did a great job, and that was from Old Colony. So you have a
That's
lot
nice,
of,
yeah.
hidden programs.
Backing up, what about Halloween?
Oh, and then Halloween. Okay, so, what is, I'm trying to think. I don't.
Have in the past, have you done like costume parties
Yeah,
or
hi.
dances or?
Years ago.
I mean, yeah, I'm not a
Yeah,
Halloween
they-
person, but so I was just wondering.
Yeah, we could do, I mean, we haven't, Barb's been pretty busy, so we've been pretty busy with a lot of different things, as we know. But, so that's on our book to.
Oh, I was just asking.
We don't know yet.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. It's I mean, the last time, we were gonna do the pumpkin thing. So we were gonna have, last year, what we did last year is we had Mr. Nazarella delivered, or the Nazarella Farms delivered pumpkins. And we actually then were able to, we brought them in and decorated them.
Yeah, that's nice. That's a
Yeah.
nice
And then we had
activity.
like a little, that kind of thing, because we didn't have access to a room at the time, we didn't have access to the park anymore, but we just got that authorization to go back there. So, so now that we have that, we'll see what we're gonna do on that. If we're gonna have a party, it'd be nice. I'd love to see it in the afternoon, but there is that, John, oh goodness, I can't think of his name right now, but he was a really great singer, so I'd love to see him come, and it'll be a nice Halloween type thing to have too.
Awesome.
Like at night. Maybe we could get Mr. Darling, because he's pretty good, and have a
What?
dance, a Halloween dance.
Yeah, he is good. He is a DJ.
But see, the park offers similar stuff, right?
We had the Halloween party
Yeah.
every year.
Yeah, so I don't want to,
And Rick Dowling does it.
Yeah, I think just
Yeah.
that if you can get those pumpkins from Nazarella's, that would be,
Yeah, that was
that'll be
fun.
nice.
so, yeah, we had a couple, we were gonna do it outside because it's, messy, but, it was kind of windy. when we have it. And I think, Matt, you came, it was, the Harvest Moon, that's what it was, yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah, we had the harvest, that's what it was called, the Harvest Moon. So, we could do a Harvest Moon dance, but again, I don't want to step on the toes of the park either, because they seem to do a lot. But we could do a dance, but we just gotta figure out where we're gonna have it,
A lot of the ones that come to the things at the hall, at the council, they don't dance. I mean, they like to listen to music, and that's why some of the ones that sing and stuff are good.
Yeah,
But they'd rather have a sing-along or something like that, or slingo.
yeah, we could deck that gentleman again, too. It's a lot of good, and, oh yeah, that's the other thing, too, so a lot happening in October. I'm gonna be away for a conference for 3 days.
Thought you were going on vacation, Darlene.
No, I took Friday off by
You
mistake.
did?
That was
My
a week's
refrigerator,
vacation.
my refrigerator was broken.
What was
boy,
broken?
whatever, my refrigerator.
Oh.
So, yeah, so that's why I was like, okay, I just might as well take a vacation day. So I did on Friday. And then what else? So we'll see what happens. But, so the conference is coming up, and so we're on the party committee there. It's gonna be fun. Laurie Fayette she's the director in Lakeville. She's so funny. She's an amazing person and a lot of personality to her. So she was asked to be on the board to organize the activities at night for the conference down at the Seacrest. And so so we got together. We have music and theme nights and all that stuff. So it's going to be fun. So it'll be 3 days that I'll be checking in at the office and stuff, but it will be the end of October, is the 21st, I think, to the 24th.
And where is it?
Seacrest. And then I have another in Newton, another conference that I was invited to by Christine McNeil. She is a PhD to talk about, she's in charge of honoring choices. The hospice and palliative care services. And so there's a conference that I was invited to there as well. And so that's on the 29th. So I'm gonna probably go to that too. It's expensive, but I'll go. So that was good. And the connection with Christine McNeil was that I've asked her to talk about, I know it sounds, people don't want to talk about palliative and hospice care and the services that are provided, what's the difference between those services. So we did have someone that came in to talk to Barbara yesterday. The people come in all the time trying to introduce their products, what's out there for vendors and so on. And we called around to Cranberry Hospice and various organizations like that, through even South Shore Hospital and so on, just to come in and talk to the public or to us about that difference. And, you know, they're pretty busy. You know, the VNA is a very busy organization too, so we weren't able to really connect with them, and then all of a sudden yesterday somebody came in. But we also, I think with what's been happening at our facility and things like the changes and things like that, I think people have been reaching out, grief counseling and that type of thing. I think we all kind of just need counseling in general, just to chat. That's why we try to create the social hours and the wellness for the center, and to try to keep everybody interests. But I don't know what everybody's interest if they don't tell me. Or, you know, you hear afterwards, I didn't like that. And even keeping engaged with the activities, the yoga classes have been wonderful.
How are those going?
Good. I'd love to see more people, you know, but it's, I think it's grown from like a couple people to like almost 10. So that's a good thing. In some cases, you know, depending on the time of the year too, you know. So there's still a lot more activities we could offer. I'd like to see us, the yard is being picked up. I actually talked to getting the frontage cleaned, because our frontage is pretty significant in terms of the weeds and everything that's out there now. It's a lot for the beautification committee to take on. They couldn't do that. And so, and also to even get the community services from the school, the kids, we approached that. But what we were successful in, I approached the Sheriff's Department and see if we could utilize some of the resources over there, even plants and stuff, maybe buy them from them and get a discount. So we'll see. Yeah, so we gotta clean up that. But when we do clean up that, my plan was to have it by October 1st, clean it up, and then we can bring out that lawn furniture we got and have cycle classes outside. You know, the cycle classes where you have it under the table, the feet move with the pedals.
Oh, yeah.
Pedal to the metal. So we're gonna invest in that and then
Nice.
stream it through GoPro. But that was through our grant through Age Wave Social. So, in fact, one of the girls that we, I have to announce it, one of the girls that was part of that program was just hired as a full-time outreach person that was a part of the Age Wave Social Group because of her background. And she was just hired yesterday as, she was offered the job yesterday at East Bridgewater Senior Center. Isn't that good?
Okay.
So that staffing was phenomenal in terms of what they offered, in terms of their background, and even the salaries. They were volunteers, and now she's gotten onto her because of her background, and also because of her exposure to this particular program, this grant. She was able to access a wonderful position. So it was a good thing, and she's going to do well. So I was happy to hear that.
Great.
Yeah. So that's it.
Will
folks.
New Age be coming back?
I hope so. Yep. It didn't. There was changes, of course, that we know of. That's in our center. We did have a plan, and so now it's. We had to kind of change the direction for a bit because of the changes. To hire a full-time position or a person to oversee that, the town won't. You'd have to go through channels. You know the process. So even if we were to hire an outside, we have outreach assistance position that we are going to put out there, and it's part-time, under 19 hours a week. But in order to run that program successfully, you do need to have a full-time person to oversee it, and that has a strong background in the area of dementia care, early onset. So to understand the colors and there's a lot into it, and I didn't realize even like the colors of the walls make a difference, and I would never think things that we just take for granted. Most people in that position, you know, with changes, things just change, right? And I guess, we try to, when we had those activities, the types of activities we offered, music, just brain teaser type activities, which are fun. In fact, I'm actually going to be going, one more thing I just did too, all this stuff. September 30th, Kingston Library is having a brain teaser group. It's a new program. One of the seniors came to me from Kingston. They attended one of the brain teaser classes in Kingston, and so I've reached out to Kingston COA, and the person that teaches there, she was pretty booked. So I actually then connected with the library over there, and they said they're offering a brain teaser. It's a new program that's being offered. So I'm going to go to, it's at 6 o'clock at night on September 30th, if you want to come and see what it's all about. But it's called Brain Teaser. It's a young couple that is starting this business, and they realize that most people don't know how to do like Sudoku and things of that nature, and some of these different puzzles out there. So they're like, hey, maybe.
Is it registration required? Is it?
I believe so. I have the information at the COA. I put it out there as to when it's going to happen. So that was another thing we're going to do. If we can get them, if we like it on the 30th, then we can bring it in and have like some kind of a, brain teaser classes. And that was one of our seniors that suggested it, and I was like, thanks for bringing that to our attention, because I'm glad to see, and we'll still work on see if we can get other people in there. It's good to have those. We try to do it. This is interesting. It's called Game On. Remember that in the newsletter?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. We wanted to create a Game On day where you come in, chess, play a game of chess, play some of these games, trivia games and so on. And we have a lot of that information, books and stuff like that at our center. Let's use them. But when nobody came.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wait, how do we get interest? We can offer it. And the same thing happened yesterday too. Don't mean to keep talking, but we try to offer paint classes. And we wanted to offer instructional paint classes. And I wrote the grant. We got funded, thankfully. Local Cultural Council as well as Mass Cultural Council, thank goodness for them. Both of those groups. We were able to get funding for Love of Art. And so I was like, oh, great, we'll have an instructor come in and teach us. They'll bring their paints and stuff, and we can have instructional painting. Well, then people's like, well, the people that are the painters, they said, we don't need an instructor to come in, right? So, okay, we don't need, but I said, that's okay, maybe you don't, but maybe some would. Maybe we could do that. Well, that wouldn't go over too good. Then they fizzled out and I never saw them again. Then they came back, we brought in just free art, classes and stuff. So Barbara said to me the other day, she sent me an email last night, I read the email, it says, guess what they want to do? They want to have instructional art classes again. And the woman that wants to teach it, she teaches in Hanover, Patricia Rose. She teaches in Hanover in one other center, $150 an hour. But I said, wait, so I'm just thinking, if we're going to do this, you guys said you didn't want to do it, we had the funding to do it. I don't like to just spend money just randomly. If it doesn't get used, I'll give it back to the grant. And that's not a good thing, but I'm not going to just go spend it on anything. So I said, it's shameful that we gave it back for the Love of Art. But I'll write a grant again. But I said, I have to know that people are going to show up, people are going to use this grant. And, I'm going to pay the $150. I'd love to have Patricia Rose come, but I just want to make sure if two people show up or they don't show up one week and they don't,
right,
I mean, that's an expensive proposition. So, if we do it once a week, it'll be great, but the $150 a week, I don't know.
Some of them though, they feel it's for the people that already know. They're afraid to go, they're not good at it. And they're afraid that they think that this is for people that know how to paint. And then the people that do know how to paint, they figure they don't need it. And that's what's happening. They're afraid to go. If you get them going once or twice, I think then it will click in.
We did, so we had a conversation, a lot of conversations about this art class. And then we opened it up, open art on Fridays. And then we have, or every other Friday. And then we've had, it was started off with a couple, 6 people, and then it stopped, and then there was no one. And then it came back with just 2 people, and then another person came, and then it was 6 people the other day, last Friday. So they've been doing a lot of rocks lately, and that's good, but it's not the actual painting and, because we have all those canvas boards that we bought. A lot of paint, different types of painting. So I don't know what to offer anymore, because people are just a little bit all over the place with regard to this art. And I get it. Some people want to do it on the individual. Great, go do it in the corner or whatever out there in the center. But if other people want instructional, then they'll be over here with an instructor. But we're not going to spend $150 a week to have somebody come in. I'd like to have it weekly because it would be nice.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah, and it would be, but I don't want to spend $150 a week to do that. So
And
we
she
gotta
takes
find-
the supplies and then takes them back because
I don't know
storage
more.
is in
I didn't
it.
get the details because it just came to me yesterday. And I said, oh, let's talk about it because I need to understand what we're getting for the $150. But I know other centers, Hanover, they offer it, but it might come out of a budget that was probably planned for out of the state grant or something. And I want to make sure that we do have enough funding to do certain things too. Of course, our lunches and so on, that's coming up. But I want to just make sure that we can afford to do that continually rather than just random,
Well, we have that at the park too, down
Yeah.
Iris
You have to
does it
pay.
once a month, and the people pay $15, and she
It's
always
20.
gets 20,
20.
20, and she
$20.
always gets more than what she
Yeah.
needs.
They have to sign up because it's an
Yeah.
overload.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too, so we offered that too up at our center. And it's like, okay, it's competition with your center, with the seniors,
But I think there's more, they talk about it more in the park. It's more in your face. When it's at the council, it's the people at the council, and then if they read the newsletter
Yeah.
and so forth. We need to talk it up more,
Yep,
rather than just sending out notices and stuff like that.
Yep, we do, and that's what I noticed, that's Barbara's position, programs, okay? But you can't, it's a lot to the market media. So now what I've been trying to do is now getting these out. These are gonna happen in October, but they went out in August newsletter. And then they use the billboard down there, the LED light at the fire station, stuff like that. The sandwich board is a little broken and the wheels fell off of it. We don't have all the letters, I don't know what happened. Anyway, so it's sitting there, we could use that, but the thing is then our Facebook page isn't working either, so right now. But we're hoping that we can do it through the web page itself. That's the work, so.
We have
so-
that at the park. We have our own Facebook page.
Yep, we
And
gotta,
it keeps going out. and
yep, we
that's
gotta get
where-
that back, so.
Yep.
But a lot of people don't always do Facebook either too, so I don't know what to say. But I noticed that when we use anything with Mass Cultural Council, the Cultural Council, we need to get that out to the newspaper. That is, when I was in Kingston, Holly Nagale, she was the market media person part-time, outstanding. She got the information out there, number one, it went out to not only to the newsletter there, but it went out to the publications, like the Buzz in town, or Halifax Express, or Kingston Express. Those are the newsletters, so she had access to those. So that information I provided to Barbara to say, hey, get this information out to the newspapers, we gotta get out there. But you have to have that plan such that it can't be done that month. It has to be set like a month in advance. But if you have that limited staffing, remember though, she has options to do other things too that are taking her away from learning other things. So it would be nice to have someone that was a volunteer marketing person that could actually just handle just that.
Didn't that Sarah do that? The park? I
What's
think
that?
she got it out to different people.
Who was it?
Pat Darrow.
Sarah. I think I'm not quite sure because I wasn't in that part of it, but
Yeah. I mean, if we had someone, I talked to the person through the Buzz, they were pretty good, and I saw that they were offering some free choices for us to go through there, and see if we could maybe market through there. But you gotta do it, you know, like with all the stuff that I'm getting together, because if you didn't, we'd be really, we wouldn't have a lot of the stuff that we do have and options. So, it's that, plus working on the budget, you know how you get there, right? So trying to get all that squared away and everything get in order. So I try to, yeah, you know, then run to meetings, and in fact, it's 10:30, I gotta go, but, to this meeting and stuff. But, put these books together, I was trying to keep everything organized. I'm hoping that, you know, we can get more support. It's just that right now, we're operating pretty close to, you know, it's tough right now with regard to the staffing. And, you know, I'll do as much as I can, and I'm not complaining if I didn't take my vacation time and I lose it, I don't care. I just feel at this point, I get the job done. But I just don't like the negativity out there if in fact it's not the way somebody sees it, but in fact you're putting your heart and soul into it, you know, and that's the disappointment. I'd rather that not happen, because we're doing the best we can under the circumstances, and hopefully we can get more people hired, as maybe the new building would generate that support. I don't know, but we can only hope.
How
that
is
it
the
will.
building coming? How are those plans coming?
So that, from what I understand, the RFP, thankfully, Bob Fennessy was able to get that out on the website, so that right now, the bids, the attraction to bid for these contractors, it's stated 3 million, I think 3.4, for contractors to come out, hey guys, you know, we want to build a senior center, contractor, can you do it for 3.4? Here, you know, send in your paperwork. So that's what we're in the process of doing now. It was on the website. So if you go to the website, you'll see it under RFP, and you'll get the whole synopsis of it. What I don't know, and I'm gonna find out, because I didn't see it anywhere, everybody keeps talking about that Featherwinds has to sell so many units before they start building. I don't know if that's true. I don't know where it came from. I don't see it.
Well, I think
written.
that's true. I think
Is
that
it?
It is true, that was in their original
Yeah.
Did you see
announcement.
that? Did you see it written?
Yeah.
You did?
66 units, I believe, they have to sell before they start. But in the meantime, every unit they do sell, 31,000 goes into escrow over
Right.
here, working on that account for the senior center. So as they go, each unit, so certain amount of money gets laid over here for the senior center, but they have to sell, if my memory's right, 66 units before
Did that go
they...
up?
I know,
I
it used
thought
to
it
be
was
30.
35 or 60.
Oh, no, no.
That's why I'm saying.
That's about, I would say that's about, it's not 506.
No,
Really?
Yeah.
No, it's not 5 or 6. But
I thought it
didn't
was
know.
even more than that, but I will go with what.
that's a little over a third of their total
Yeah,
units.
yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know.
So it's just weird that we don't know how many have
Yeah.
sold, like where we are in that.
No, because we went down to ask them a couple months back, and they had sold like 15, I thought it was, and I don't know what it is now, you know, but they are good looking.
Oh,
They're well
yes.
built. I believe me, I know about building out there and what's good and what's
So
not.
darling, before you
They're very
leave,
good.
I just wanna, cause we
I
will
would-
get through the agenda. But
Job
we
description.
were gonna talk about the job descriptions, and I have two documents here. In this document, you gave August 2025, and a COA board member onboarding bylaws, and then it gives description of the COA board and what we do, and then what the director does, and then the COA board chair duties, and that's all looks good, but I have another document
Yeah,
that,
we kept doing it, I noticed that too.
I don't have it.
So no, I have it in my books here. So guys, let me say, go with the latest one. So I've been sending these emails out to everyone.
right,
and
so my
so when we-
question with that is, this latest document doesn't have the vice chair.
Nope, because remember we said, hold on here, August 19th meeting, we did a draft. It's in my book here for everybody, okay? So we did a draft and then we made some revisions and we didn't, I think we're talking about it, what we said, we didn't need to have the vice chair.
Okay,
I think that was in my notes
okay.
at some point. Let me see. With the notes, something about a vice chair. They said we didn't need to have a vice chair. Let me see. So what we did do is we took that out for the revision after the draft, because we went through some of it, I think.
Yep.
In that August 19th.
Oh, because so it goes with the town bylaws that we just have to have a chairman
That's what it
and a
was.
secretary.
Yeah, because we
Yep,
went.
so that's right here.
Yeah, so then what I had to do, go back in and take that out. So the most current
Okay,
one.
so we don't need a vice chair.
Yeah, I guess that's according to the bylaws. And that will be in this is all in that book, so I just gotta put these little tabs in there for everybody. If you want, I wrote them already over here, but I can have you do them. But it has all the, it has the information referencing when there's changes in terms of the selectmen approving to increase the number of the boards, from 5 to 7. And then also to the description of what this elements of running a board.
Yeah.
And then it goes into then keeping a copy of the actual bylaws. And then I put in there also is what we're looking at is what we did on the procedures and policies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's in this book as well. And then I went in, then this is where you would keep your minutes of the meeting we had today and the actual agenda that you do, and that would be in that section too, and then general notes. So, and then the bylaws, I put in there what we were going to actually do today for the job descriptions. Not the bylaws. Yeah, no, it was the actual, we're gonna go over the bylaws today and the job description. I have to be at this meeting.
So I think you handed this document out, this is from August.
Yep, the August 2025,
Right,
yep.
but does everybody have a copy of
No,
that?
they will have it in this book.
No, but what I'm
Okay.
saying, I think you gave us this last time.
I did.
Which is fine, and then we were gonna look at it. Do you have a copy, Judy?
I think so, I couldn't find my folder this morning.
That's what
Okay,
I'm saying,
I'm
when we
pretty
have
sure I
these
have
books, this will keep everybody organized.
but are we saying, do we wanna approve this, or you don't think this needs to be approved?
Yeah, we should approve those.
Okay, do you wanna approve it next meeting? Or do you wanna approve it
Did
this
everybody
meeting?
read them?
I haven't, no.
Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay, that's all right. Do you want to approve it, give Judy the option to read it?
Yes, okay, so we'll approve them next meeting.
Yes, ma'am.
And then, so on another document, I had that the chair oversees the resignation or removal of a COA board member. Do we want to add that into here?
Well, you want to change it.
What?
What are we gonna do? Are you gonna change it to what?
So you give all the responsibilities of the COA chairs which is great, but I had on another thing,
Yeah, we talked about it, so then it changed, but I couldn't remember which one it changed to. Let me see. This is the latest one.
yeah.
Let's see, chair duties.
So do you want to put in oversees the resignation or removal of a COA board member?
Under the
as a-
COA, okay.
As a duty of the chair, so that wouldn't be your responsibility, that would be a duty of the chair.
Yeah, I think we did do that, didn't we, put here?
So it's not, I don't think it's in this latest document, I'm asking if we should put it in this latest document.
Yeah, anything what does it say? We did on the other one, right, the original?
Yeah, on the original, we had that, and then we had something about the vice chair, but right, we don't need a vice chair.
Okay. Overseas reservation. Thought we had.
I know, and maybe, I mean, I read it a couple of times, I didn't see that.
Okay. All right, so let's put that in under COA board chair duties.
Yes.
Okay, so let me do that, and I'll have to update that one.
Yep, okay, good. And then you can send that all out to us, or
It'll
just,
go back and it'll go out, I can change, I won't give you the books today, then I'll lug them back.
okay,
But then when I do that, I'll make a change on this page and then give it to everybody, and you guys will all have one location. But just let me add that in here, participates. Oh, so that came after here. There is a dot there, but it didn't get the overseas thing. Overseas. Thank you for pointing that out. Perfect. Okay.
and, so do you think you should have the mission statement in our booklets too?
Yep. Yep, that'll be in here as well.
Okay,
It's right there.
oh, it is in there already, awesome.
Yep, they get it all in there.
Look at you, that's
I know.
great.
Took me a
I
little
can't wait
while.
for mine.
You know I can. So now we're there. You can bring your book, you know, and then whatever you get for that day, you can come. I'll bring the puncher, you know, the 3-hole punch. You can punch it in, put in your book, and they'll have it for the next
I
meeting.
have one of those.
Yeah, puncher, 3-hole punch. But I'll bring one anyway, and then we can just add them and
Yeah,
just be a
yeah.
part of that. I think it might keep us a little bit more, you know, so you won't have to worry about everything. So everybody's talking.
And I think we talked about doing fiscal year as opposed to calendar year, or do we want to just start right off, just like next month?
What was that? Sorry.
If we
Diane
want to
said-
do fiscal year or calendar year, like I still have like my July and August agendas and stuff. So if we want to do that, or we just want to start like next month, keeping agendas and minutes and stuff.
Yeah, we'll do it the next month. I mean,
Okay.
I mean, I already put this month's in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've already put it in your books. So then next month when we get to do them, you just add it to that. Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
Good.
so, okay, and I'll make that one little change then on the bylaws and we can approve them then.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan. And, yep. So.
Okay. Oh, so, we'll adjourn the meeting at 10:44?
You got it.
Okay.
In 3 seconds. All right.
Okay, awesome.
Thank you so much. I hope you
Thank
feel
you,
better.
darling.
Yeah, thank you.